Welcome to the League of Women Voters of Collier County's Take a Pass on Plastic program. My name is Loralee.
And I'm Laura.
Let's talk about why it's so important to reduce our single-use plastic waste. This graph shows trends in global plastic production. The dark blue area shows that more than half of all the plastic ever produced in the world has been since 2000. Global production is forecasted to more than triple by 2050. In 2017, worldwide, more than 400 million tons of plastics were produced. And single-use packaging, the type you used once, then throw away, is the largest use of plastic at 36%. Plastic packaging also produces more waste. It is this waste from single-use packaging that is our focus today. So can't we just recycle it? Well, it's not so easy. Over 90% of plastic produced in the US is never recycled. The vast majority, 75%, goes into landfills. 15% is incinerated. Less than 10% actually recycles. We call it the 3 Bs. The majority of plastic waste is buried, burned, or borne out to sea. If improved, recycling alone won't solve our plastic pollution problem. To deal with this excess waste, we must slow the flow and turn off the tap. We do this by buying and using less single-use plastic. Excess plastic waste is having a huge impact on our waterways and oceans. It is estimated that every minute, 2 garbage trucks of plastic waste is dumped into the world's oceans. The largest swirling area of concentrated debris in the ocean, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, is approximately twice the size of Texas. There are 5 plastic garbage patches in the world. Just think about that, 5. In 2020, Florida put an estimated 7,000 tons of plastic waste in our marine environments. If we do nothing, absolutely nothing, it is projected that by 2050, there'll be more plastic in the oceans than there are fish by weight. The impact on our wildlife is significant. A 2020 Oceania study found that hundreds of sea turtles and manatees swallowed or were entangled in plastic pollution. About 90% of seabirds and 30% of turtles have plastics in their stomachs. Often, manatees think plastic bags look like food, like jellyfish. They digest them, feel full, and then stop eating. But the plastic accumulates in the digestive system. They eventually starve to death. Our neighborhoods, parks, and beaches overflow with single-use waste. It is everywhere we look. And plastic never really decomposes. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces called microplastics over a very long period of time. How long? Well, plastic bags take about 20 years, straws 200 years, and can you believe this? Water bottles are 450 years. My favorite of all are coffee pods, 500 years. The straw you use today will be here for your children, great-grandchildren, and great-great-great-grandchildren. And microplastics are now found in our air, water, and soil. Scientists found them on Mount Everest and in the deepest trenches of the ocean. Nowhere is immune. More troubling, microplastics are found in our bodies. How do microplastics get in people? Well, we eat, drink, and breathe them. Microplastics in soil and water passes up in our food chains. Tiny particles leach into our food from packaging and containers. In January of 2024, Scientists found that a liter of bottled water can contain as many as 240,000 plastic particles, with 90% being even smaller nanoplastics. Microplastics are in our bodies. They have been found in human hearts, vein tissues, brains, kidneys, livers, blood, and lungs. They are even found in the breast milk and placentas and in the stools of newly born babies. 2024 research found cadaver brain samples contain 7 to 30 times more shards of plastic than kidneys or livers. Compared to 2016, their research in 2016, it is 50% higher in 2025. Just as troubling, scientists are finding that chemicals in plastics are harmful to human health, with direct links to cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, endocrine disruptors, and insulin resistance, even IQ and cognitive development in children, just to name a few. A growing body of scientific data is raising concerns and exploring potential links of microplastics to specific diseases such as cancer or heart disease. The current scientific consensus indicates that while a direct causal link to humans is not yet firmly established, there are plausible biological mechanisms by which these ubiquitous particles could contribute to these and other diseases. Research is ongoing, and we read new studies week by week. We know that massive amounts of single-use plastic are being produced in ever-increasing quantities. Overwhelmingly, plastic waste leads to negative impacts to the environment, wildlife, and human health. Recycling alone will not solve the waste problem. Change is needed by all of us.
So what can we do? Hi, I'm Laura, and we'll talk about what can we do to take a pass on plastics. We start by changing our behavior about how we think and use single-use plastics. We need to change our behavior. I like to call it my plastic diet. The best place to begin is with the 4 R's: refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Refuse plastic products whenever you can. Say no to plastic straws when they're serving you in a restaurant. Americans use 142 billion straws a year. You can say no to take out plastic utensils and condiments. If you're taking that restaurant carry-out home, you already have utensils to use. In the United States, we use more than 36 billion disposable plastic utensils a year. The second R is to reduce. We need to reduce the amount of goods that we purchase in single-use plastics packaging. You can brew coffee at home using ground coffee and filters and no plastic pods. You can switch out plastic beverage bottles for aluminum cans that recycle almost infinitely. You can ditch the plastic water bottles for your own reusable stainless steel or aluminum, or better yet, fill your reusable bottle at home from your refrigerator. You can even make your own sparkling water. The third R is to reuse. Bring your own reusable shopping bag when you go shopping. I keep mine on the back seat of my car. Americans use 100 billion plastic bags a year, which is an average of 365 bags per person per year. In Denmark, people use an average of only 4 bags per person annually. And the average amount of time that a plastic bag is in use is 12 minutes, just 12 minutes. You can also bring your own containers if you're going for carry-out things or a doggy bag, and you can buy a stainless steel reusable water bottle and coffee mug. Americans buy like 50 billion water bottles, plastic water bottles a year. Think of the microplastics that are floating in those single-use water bottles. And if you cannot refuse, reduce, or reuse, then we want to recycle smart. Recycle only clean, dry, loose plastic bottles, plastic jars, jugs, and tubs. Keep the caps on the bottles. If they're free, they catch in the machinery and shut down the operations. But if the caps are on the bottles, they add to the value of the recycled poundage. Nothing smaller than your fist goes into your recycle bin. And please do not put your recyclables in a big plastic bag. When in doubt, throw it out. So the steps to help make your life plastic-free are easy. Reduce your single-use plastic purchases. Replace single-use plastics with reusable options. Recycle less and less plastic while continuing to recycle all cans, bottles, and paper. We have some suggestions. You can buy laundry and dish and cleaning powders in old-fashioned cardboard boxes rather than plastic jugs. You can get your groceries and produce in reusable bags instead of the plastic filmy ones in the produce section. Glass and silicone containers and tops of all sizes can replace all the plastics that you have in your cupboards. Single-use reusable coffee makers, and think about perhaps tablet dispensers and bar soaps instead of a big bottle of plastic liquids. Dryer balls can be used instead of plastic dryer sheets. But there's lots and lots of other alternatives on our website that you can visit to get some ideas. On the website, you'll see our Yes, I Can pledge, which helps you choose one or two things. It can feel overwhelming to think about too many changes. So just start with a few at a time. We just want to change our personal behavior. Refuse to use single-use plastic and reuse what you have. It might take a few extra minutes, but it's time well spent. One small change can have a much larger impact. And most important, help spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors. And if you know of organizations that would like to hear this message from us, let us know. Take a moment and explore our website. You'll get lots of ideas there. We want to thank you for watching and for wanting to make a difference. And we'd like you to consider joining the Collier County League of Women Voters. You can be part of the solution with our Plastics Task Force. There's a link to join us on the main page. And I'll leave you with a quote from Margaret Mead, who said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. It's the only thing that ever has."